A perfect 10 out of 10 vulnerability is allowing unauthenticated attackers to completely impersonate users through specific API endpoints. And it's not the only impersonation crisis we're looking at today.
I'm Morgan. That's Alex. Let's break it down.
We have to start with this API flaw, CVE 2025-40805. It's rare to see a CVSS score of exactly 10.0, but this one earned it. Essentially, certain devices are failing to enforce authentication on specific API endpoints.
A 10 out of 10? That's basically the game over score. If I'm reading this right, an attacker doesn't even need a password. They just need to know a username?
Exactly. If they know the identity of a legitimate user, they can circumvent the entire authentication process and act as that person. It's a straight-up impersonation play at the API.
Wait, this sounds incredibly similar to the ServiceNow news that just broke. They're calling that one Body Snatcher, right? CVE 2025-12420?
Spot on. The researchers at App Omni discovered it. It's a critical flaw in the ServiceNow AI platform. Same core issue, an unauthenticated user can impersonate someone else and perform arbitrary actions. That one's sitting at a 9.3.
Body Snatcher. That's a visceral name. But it fits. If you can just become another user on an AI platform, you're not just seeing their data. You're potentially training models or accessing sensitive corporate workflows. It's the same pattern as the 10.0 flaw we just mentioned. It feels like we're seeing a real shift toward targeting these identity logic flaws rather than just traditional memory corruption.
It's much cleaner for the attacker. Why bother with a complex exploit chain when you can just tell the API, I'm the admin, and it believes you? Speaking of high-stakes access, we need to talk about SAP. CVE 2026-0501 is hitting SAP S/4HANA, specifically the Financials General Ledger.
The General Ledger? That's the literal crown jewels for any enterprise. That's where every single financial transaction is recorded.
Right. It's a 9.9 CVSS score. It's an SQL injection vulnerability caused by insufficient input validation. An authenticated user can run crafted SQL queries to read, modify, or even delete backend database data.
SQL injection in the General Ledger. That's terrifying. You could theoretically rewrite a company's financial history or hide massive fraud. And since it's S/4HANA, we're talking about both private cloud and on-premise versions. This isn't just a small bug. It's a fundamental threat to the integrity of the whole financial system.
And the fact that it's an authenticated user doesn't make it much better. Think about insider threats, or more likely, an attacker who has already compromised a low-level account and is looking for a way to escalate or cause maximum damage.
It's that blast radius thing again. Once they're in, they go for the ledger. It reminds me of those old-school banking Trojans, but instead of stealing a login, they're just breaking the database logic directly.
Exactly. Now, moving from the enterprise core to something a bit more specific but still dangerous. CVE 2025-66802. This is an RCE in the Sourcecodester Covid-19 contact tracing system.
Contact tracing? That feels like a bit of a throwback, but I'm guessing the code is still running in plenty of places.
It is, and the flaw is a classic. It allows a remote code execution by uploading a PHP reverse shell disguised as a user's image. CVSS 9.8.
The old malicious image trick. It's surprising how often that still works. You upload a profile picture, but instead of a JPEG, it's a script that gives the attacker a command prompt on your server. It's simple, it's effective, and it's why we keep telling people to validate their file uploads.
It's a reminder that even niche or older applications can be the entry point for a much larger network compromise. Speaking of large-scale issues, we just hit the first Patch Tuesday of 2026, and Microsoft is not easing us into the new year.
114 flaws. That is a massive update. And 3 0 days right out of the gate?
Yeah, one of them is being actively exploited in the wild, and 2 others were publicly disclosed before the patches were ready. It's a heavy lift for IT teams this week.
I noticed they also released a specific update for Windows 10, KB5073724. Is that part of the new Extended Security Update program?
It is. It covers those same 0 days, but also includes a fix for expiring secure boot certificates. If you're still on Windows 10, you cannot ignore this one, or you might find your system refusing to boot once those certificates expire.
And Windows 11 users aren't off the hook either. We've got cumulative updates KB5074109 and KB5073455 for versions all the way up to 25H2. It's a total sweep of the ecosystem.
It really is. Beyond the OS, we're seeing some interesting activity in the browser space. Researchers found a malicious Chrome extension called MEXC API Automator.
MEXC. That's the crypto exchange, right? I'm guessing this automator wasn't actually helping you trade.
Not exactly. It was masquerading as a trading tool, but its real job was stealing API keys for the MEXC exchange. It only had 29 downloads when it was caught, but for those 29 people, their entire exchange balance was at risk.
This is why I'm so paranoid about browser extensions. They have so much permission to read what's on your screen and intercept your data. 29 downloads sounds small, but if those are 29 high-value whales on a crypto exchange, that's a huge payday for the attackers.
It's a targeted strike. And finally, something a bit more quality of life, but still a bug. Google confirmed an Android issue where accessibility features are breaking the volume keys.
I've seen people complaining about that. It's one of those bugs that feels like a hardware failure, but turns out to be software. It's not a security breach, but it's a reminder of how complex these software stacks are. One accessibility toggle, and suddenly your physical buttons stop working.
It's all connected. Whether it's a volume button or a 10.0 API flaw, it comes down to how the system handles input and permissions. The priority for today is clear. If you're running SAP S/4HANA, get that General Ledger patch for CVE 2026-0501 immediately. And if you're a ServiceNow customer, check your AI platform versions for the body snatcher fix.
Your daily AI-powered security briefing. If this saved you time, subscribe. We're here every morning.
Stay patched, stay paranoid.